Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at this nice old Sylvania GTE 175 watt Mercury vapor bulb. This is a nice example here. It still has its sleeve intact. A lot of these bulbs, when you find them used, they don't usually have their sleeve anymore. And it's kind of hard to find new old stock ones with a real nice sleeve intact. Of course you can. They do turn up every once in a while. But at least we have an example here of the packaging. So on the top of this side of the package, we have Sylvania GTE up there in the corner. This would have been square at one point in its life. And we have kind of a half look at the bulb here. Looks like a 400 watt offering rather than the 175 watt that's inside here. Mercury lamp, of course, in the R. This side, we don't really have anything at all. And the other side, we have Mercury lamp again, just kind of the same thing as the reverse. And some warning information here on the package about this Mercury vapor bulb. One nice thing here is it does talk about dating the bulb. So that's nice of them to include such a thing. Operating instructions. And GTE Products Corporation, made in USA. So let's take a look at the bulb here and see what we got. So this is a real nice, not too heavily used Sylvania bulb, I should say. Here's an example of one that is very heavily used. As you can see, the arc tube turns quite blackened over many years of use. So this one, as you can see, it does have some use on it. It's starting to turn white, but it's not necessarily too far along in its life. So let's take a look at the base here. I want to say this is nickel. I'm not sure why, but it's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't believe it's aluminum because it does get some type of corrosion on it that's kind of like a turquoise color. It could be something other than nickel or aluminum or one of those two. I'm not entirely sure what this could be. And I don't really have a magnet here to try it with, but it does corrode over time. I have some clear banders in the collection back home where the bases were quite turquoised up with some type of corrosion. We do have a glass insulator here, and then our center contact. On the base, looks like we have some dots and maybe a 10, something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. We have a letter for each month of the year. And it looks like we have numbers here as well. Yep, there's the numbers 1 through 9 and 0. See, it looks like a dot, 1, and a 0, and then another dot. Moving on up inside, we have our pinch here, holding on to, our power and everything. Of course, this is our starting resistor right here, which goes to our little probe to help start the lamp. And then, of course, we get our whole arc, so power continues on up to the other side here. Of course, our arc tube in the middle, obviously. On the top, we have Sylvania 175. I want to say it looks like a 77 for the number there below the 175. Looks kind of like a 77 or 76. I'm not really sure. H39 KB-175. Now, I believe this came after the girder frame. Sylvania had a girder frame, a solution to try to solve the poor welds in the Mercury vapor bulbs. They were prematurely failing because the welds that hold together the frame were not holding as intended. Vibrations of the bulb, road, whatever it may be, vibrations in general, were destroying the lamps. And so Sylvania came up with an idea to use a one-piece frame inside, which has been called the girder frame. And I do have some examples of those as well. But I think this came after that. After they solved the problem with the welds, they went back to a more traditional frame like this. This could be older than that, though. I'm not entirely sure. All depends on what that date code turns out to be. But I'd assume on the package here, if they're referencing December of 1990 or July of 81, I think we're past that girder frame point. I think the girder frame is older than that. Could be totally wrong. Of course, any information that you have, I love reading it. Please put it in the comments down below. Okay, let's go ahead, install this bulb, and turn it on. We got the bulb installed in our 1965 GE M250R. So let's turn it on here in 3, 2, 1. Wonderful start up there. We're currently at 119.3 volts, taking 70.7 watts, 0.6 amps, and a power factor of 0.97. So let's go ahead and let it warm up. Looks like we have reached full brightness. Our lux meter on the floor here has seemed to have settled down in its ratings. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and the readings on our kilowatt meter. We're currently at 118.7 volts, 2.06 amps, 241 watts, with a power factor of 0.98. And our lux meter here, which I have measured from the arc tube to this point on the floor with the little X there, is 94 inches. So with the sensor right on there, we're about 94 inches from the arc tube in one of the brightest areas here with the reflector inside of the street light. And we're currently sitting around 520 lux. Now, if I get a little further away here, it was at about 527 a little bit ago. So I wonder if me just standing near it is making it a little lower. But we were at about 527. Now we're hovering around 520 lux, it looks like. With the refractor removed on the street light, we get an unobstructed view of the arc tube here, lighting up the area. Very nice mercury vapor blue-green color. Unfortunately, the camera didn't capture the power down for some reason, so I apologize for that. I really do hope you enjoyed this video, taking a look at this marvelous 175 watt Sylvania mercury vapor bulb. What a beauty. And it's nice and clear too. Not like its friend here that has had many, many years of use. Once again, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and also please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching.